Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you a day in the life pocket page that I made using the September Day in the Life kit. This is the page here, and this is about the Great American Eclipse. I pulled the navy blues and that rusty orange color as the color theme to go with these pictures because I thought they went well with the pictures that I wanted to use, and I like to use a consistent color theme on my Pocket Life pages. And those of you who know me will know that my pocket pages are not true day in the life. I like to do literally one day or one event, and as I said, this event is the solar eclipse. So I had pre-printed the two 4x3 pictures, and I then also printed two 6x4 or 4x6 pictures, which are the two down the bottom there. And then the other one, the picture of the four of us, the real us, not the shadow us, is printed on 4x6, but I didn't want the picture to be 4x6 because I thought I would mat it on something. And actually, originally I was going to mat it on that constellation day in the life card that is behind the picture, but I changed my mind. So I also had the tag that came in the kit right there that I just moved, and I put that in one of the glassine bags that I have saved over various kits, and decided that that would be where the journaling is. That card that I am holding right there with the 21 on it is actually a card that I made myself in Photoshop. I didn't have enough blue in the kit, and so I used the that hello that's up the right there. You'll see me, I made a 4x3 card for that from the Cocoa Daisy exclusive digital cut files, and then I made this card that I'm messing with here. So I wanted to put a border on it using one of the existing 4x3 cards, and so I just trimmed down that blue and white diagonal stripe. The bicycle theme didn't go with what I was aiming for here, but the stripes were perfect, and so they made a nice border to supplement the 21 that I had made on my own there. And so that was going to be the date card for this day in the life page. So you can see that's the hello that is from the subscriber exclusive cut file, and I know I want to use it, but I've filled up all the pockets, so a great way to be able to use that was to fussy cut the speech bubble out and glue that to the picture of the four of us, our shadows. So that worked out perfectly. And these Evilicious letters came from the Day in the Life kit, and they were the perfect size to put AUG for August. What you don't see in this video is that I do take a old stamp set that's numbers, and I think it came from approximately about a year ago, and I did use that same rusty orange color to put 2017 underneath the 21, and you can see that better in the close-ups. So those cards end up staying where they are. And I thought I wanted a few more embellishments, so these are the exclusives made by Jamie, and I just sort of shuffle through these to see if there are any of the rusty orange elements and or some blue elements that I can incorporate into the page. I thought it would be fun to have that banner on the journal tag, and I very frequently will put that type of thing on the outside of the pocket, but because it's a glassine bag and it's a little fragile, I didn't on this one because it's also a top load pocket, so it's easier to pull out and then open the tag. And I have the stamps from the main kit, and thought that that arrow pointing to the sun or the eclipse would be a great way of drawing your attention to it. I know you're not supposed to have looked up at the eclipse, and we were able to get a picture because of the cloud break. And that camera that's there that says picture perfect I thought would look nice in a circle. So I just looked for the correct size circle in order to show all the detail of the camera and the words without cutting it off, and just punched that with my hole punch, and then thought that I would use one of these banners to decorate along with some of that gold thread there. I will frequently, if a banner isn't wide enough to go behind a circle or an object, cut it in half just as I did there and give you the illusion that it's actually longer than it is. Quick and simple trick there. So I'm going to make my customary thread ball to just put behind it. I thought that there's something about the gold that is eclipsey or something metallic, and so I thought that that little ball of thread there would be a nice way to embellish that. And then I use that cut banner, and originally it goes straight across widthwise on the 4x3 card, but you can see that it leaves a lot of empty space to the top and the bottom, and it doesn't look quite right. So I end up rearranging those banner tails so that they look more like an award ribbons hanging from the bottom of the circle. And I had some very sticky fingers playing around with that. So you see how it doesn't quite fit. So then I thought I'd go top to bottom, and that didn't work. So here I go on the bottom, but I don't have any adhesive there. So I need to stick some adhesive in order to get those tails to stick. There we go. So there's another pocket filled. And that I decided to leave as it is, only it doesn't fit, so I need to trim it down. But that is a card that just tells you how much of the eclipse we were going to see, and it was a screenshot off of my phone. So I've journaled on that card. You can't see it. It's on the back side, or it will be on the back side. And I don't put twine in the tag because the tag is on the inside, and there really wasn't any need for twine. I also wanted you to be able to see the detail of those constellations. So I'm going to speed through this, but I start to pull out the Simple Stories ephemera pack and see what embellishments I can get to work. I end up pulling out those 3 that are on the bottom there, thinking that they may be useful. But in the meantime, I want to finish off this Great American Eclipse card with the picture of the solar eclipse through the clouds. And I have navy ink, and I'm going to just stamp that arrow that draws attention to the sun that is hard to see in the picture. That is a digital stamp that was a free download, and I can't remember who I got it from, but I will try and link you up in the description box below when I find it. I wanted a ground for that picture of the shadows, and so I just cut off the bottom strip, which is the oranges, those rusty oranges that corresponds with the colors that I've used. I find this little, it's not really a banner, but shape from the digital exclusives, the print and cut files that you can see on the right, and it just says important there, and I thought it was another nice touch of color. And then I took another one that says notes, so it reads family notes, and that's what's in the journaling under the card there. And I have a few more embellishments that I think might work, but need to really test them and see. So I'm going to finish off that card by adhering down family and notes, and then I'll tuck that into the pocket there. I like doing my project life or day in the life or pocket pages as events. I am not organized enough to be able to do day in the life. It's too stressful for me with both of the kids. I would love to be able to do it, but I think it's just taking on more than I can handle. So my way of being able to get lots of pictures onto a particular event is by doing them in pocket pages, as I've done here. So these are the rub-ons that go with the One Canoe 2 collection. And I thought they would make a great background to this picture, but given that I've got the constellations already to the left of this picture, I decided to abandon that idea. I thought maybe that a few of them would look good on the top of the picture, but really it doesn't work because it's daytime and you really see a constellation more at nighttime. So I'm tucking my completed cards into their pockets. And I need to trim this one down because the pocket isn't quite 4x3, It's a little bit smaller to get that in there. It's still a tight fit, but I didn't want to trim off too much because I had printed the picture in such a way that I had text running to either end there. So now I have to deal with this top picture here, the picture of the four of us, the family of four, and that white border. I don't like the white border, so I wanted to do something. I thought maybe this piece of pattern paper would look good behind the picture if I trim down the edges, but then I thought maybe if I were to just draw a border in a corresponding rust color and or the navy, that might fill that space but not fill it meaninglessly. Only I couldn't really find a marker that I liked, or it didn't serve the purpose. There wasn't enough weight to fill that white space. So plan B, trim off those edges, just leaving a small white border, and I use the rusty orange piece of colored cardstock that comes with the main kit, and that is a perfect complement to that navy blue sitting beside it. And because I didn't want to look like I just trimmed a picture and stuck it down, not that there's anything wrong with that, I wanted just a little bit more decoration to it. So I have that piece of ephemera there that says love, and I just cut off the bottom. And then the same journal card has a perfect blue to it that's just a subtle blue that I tuck into either side. They almost look like handles on either side of the picture, but I like the way that it combines the two color hues and ties the whole project together for me. So I'm just going to tuck those behind there. Trim off the bottom of love because it doesn't work, and I like the way that there are circles that mimic the circles of the solar eclipse and tie those elements of the page together as well. So that is going to be it. That is the September Cocoa Daisy Day in the Life kit, along with some extras tied into it. And I thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the close-ups that follow. If you don't subscribe, I would love to have you join me for future projects. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the box below. Thanks for joining me. Take care.